Hi guys, I don't think Zack Polanski of the Green Party is going to be invited back on to Question Time anytime soon, because when he appeared on a panel with Zia Yusuf from Reform, he completely exposed Reform UK's entire platform on immigration. Have a listen.
I never think it's the number one problem because you spend a lot of time spreading misinformation and fear to make it.
Zack, with respect, you just accused me of spreading misinformation. Please tell me, and the people watching at home, what is it that I just said?
Because you've said the first bit, which is correct, that we don't have enough prison spaces, that we don't have enough NHS beds, and that we don't have investment in our communities. What immigrant has taken away those resources, as opposed to those resources being funded? So you can't blame austerity on one hand, but then say it's the immigrants. The immigrants haven't caused austerity. The same Thatcherite policies that you and your party support, and the Conservatives, of what have caused the devastation in this country. You should take responsibility for that too.
Do you think that 6.5 million net new people arriving inside 14 years, 11 million gross new people arriving in this country, against the wishes of the British people, by the way, who voted against such things in 4 consecutive elections, you tell me, you don't think that's going to put pressure on public services?
Well, first of all, we were told Brexit would bring down immigration. Actually, what it's done is brought up immigration.
And you can blame the Tories for that.
So there was a mess that Nigel Farage started with that when he gave misinformation.
I don't believe Nigel Farage was in government for those 14 years.
Oh, yeah, I think he was pretty around, though, and on Question Time quite.
Well said. So, of course, Nigel Farage was around on Question Time all the time, telling people you need to vote to leave the European Union, of course, to bring down immigration. Because at the time in 2016, he was telling people, look, the problem is immigration, and the only way to solve it is to leave the European Union, and then we'll be able to take back control. Of course, he didn't use that term, but that's the impression he was trying to give. And of course, immigration increased. Now, Nigel Farage, of course, is washing his hands of the situation. Nothing to do with me, nothing to do with the Brexit Party, nothing to do with the UKIP, nothing to do with Reform. No, it's all down to the Tories. And isn't it strange how the Tories that were implementing Brexit or campaigning for Brexit are the same Tories that are going into Reform UK now? Isn't that strange? So what Reform are trying to do, of course, is say, look, austerity is bad, but the problem is a consequence of immigration. We have to blame someone. We're not going to blame the Tories. Well, we're going to blame the Tories for not implementing Brexit right, but we're also going to blame immigrants. Said the problem is immigration. Once again, we need to leave the ECHR to bring down immigration. We need to impose economic sanctions upon ourselves again in order to bring down immigration. We need to strip British people of their rights to bring down immigration. Immigration is the problem. Ending immigration is the panacea, is the solution to all problems. And Zack has pointed out correctly that what Reform are doing is saying, look, the country is broken, public services don't work, but not pointing the finger at austerity, no, pointing the finger at immigrants. Because as we've seen, we can see with our own eyes, so many ex-Tories are moving to Reform. The same people who backed austerity, the same people who backed Brexit. So Reform are, of course, misinforming people because they're saying the problem here is austerity. The problem here is the lack of funding for public service. No, the problem is the public services, but not a lack of funding. The problem is immigration. So, of course, their solution is we'll stop all the immigrants coming in and then magically everything will work again. But the problem is not the immigration. The problem is the funding of public services. It's not immigrants that stop the government from building enough houses. It's not immigrants that are stopping the government from investing properly in the NHS. But what Reform and Nigel Farage want you to believe is, yes, it's the immigrants' fault, while they're allowing and welcoming in Tories who supported Brexit and supported austerity. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think, and I'll see you in the next video.